Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Channing Unitarian Universalist Church. We're glad you joined us for worship today. Whoever you are, whatever your theological, spiritual, political, sexual, or racial orientation, or gender identity, you're welcome to worship here and be part of this community. Are there any announcements? Julie?
Just a reminder for anybody on credential or a parent of a kid in the RE program, after service today, we're going to have a really quick, like 5-10 minute discussion about everyone's comfort level as we start to think about rolling back our COVID restrictions.
Anyone else? All right. Music and worship, we'll have to talk at some point. We can figure out, we've got most of the scheduling done, but we don't have anything lined up for the 27th. So we'll have to figure out this wants to be in service. Yeah.
Fundraising committee would like to announce that we're going to be doing a calendar again this year. And you'll be collecting donations, whether you want to get a gift card, donate a gift card, want to give us cash to purchase a gift card, and we'll look at other items to put on the bed. We'll be selling tickets the month of April. And also, you can speak to me or Aaron after the service if you're interested or have any questions. And also the community yard sale, that'll be in April. I think it's the 23rd. We'll have we'll be putting something out there as far as the tables, how much they are, and if you want a table, and it will be held rain or shine. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Last call for announcements. Please stand to the willing and able for the lighting of the chalice. Please read to repeat the word of order of service. Kindling this way of our equal heritage and our chalice community. Let us open to the presence of the sacred. Now the affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Seated. So we'll open today with all ages reading. Today's story is Circumference and the Dragon of Pi, as tomorrow is American Pi Day, because we really want to do our dates the right way to observe 3/14. You want to come up to see the pictures? All right. Circumference and the Dragon of Pi, a math adventure. Something you don't typically hear. Circumference and his son Radius sat in the shade of a tree enjoying a delicious midday meal. Partway through the lunch, Circumference grabbed his stomach and doubled over in pain. Oh! Oh, my belly, he wailed. It feels like fire. Radius, run to the castle. Find the good doctor and get me a cure. See. Radius ran to the castle and up a winding staircase to the doctor's workroom. The doctor was out. Radius entered the mysterious place full of plants and potions. What shall I do? He wondered. Father is in great pain. I've got to bring him something. Radius looked at several bottles. He murmured. This says fire belly. Father has a fire in his belly. Maybe this will cure him. Radius picked up the bottle and hurried back to circumference. There he is in the lab. And picking what does not look like a bad bottle at all. The knight gratefully took the bottle and gulped the liquid down. Kaboom! Circumference disappeared, and a dragon now sat on the grass. Ah! Screamed Radius. Where is my father? Here, hissed the dragon, flame slithering out of its mouth. Help me! It pleaded and belched puffs of smoke into the sky. I feel beastly. Its arms pedaled wildly as its tail thrashed back and forth. Don't worry, Father. I'll get help. Radius called over his shoulder as he ran back toward the castle. The guards on watch had also seen the big explosion. When the smoke cleared, they saw the dragon and alerted everyone in the castle to the danger. Plans were made. Messengers were sent across the countryside to ask nearby knights to come and vanquish the fire-breathing beast. Mother, mother, called out Radius as he hurried into the castle. There you are, answered his mother, Lady Di of Amateur, looking relieved. Come inside quickly. A dragon has been spotted nearby. I know, Radius answered. It's father. Radius told his mother right after. We must find another potion that will change your father back into himself. I'll go look for the doctor, she said. We don't have much time. The knight's plan to slay the dragon tomorrow morning. Radius ran back to the doctor's workroom. He looked at drawings and notes. He peeked inside boxes and bags. He searched through book after book. Finally, he spotted a curious-looking container with a set of spoons and a hole. It might be the cure. Circles measure. Measure the middle and circle around. Divide so a number can be found. Every circle, great and small, the number is the same for all. Also the dose, so be clever, or a dragon he will stay forever. Really good for sure. Measure the middle and circle around, thought Radius. I'll bet geometric can help. Carpenters measure things every day. Geo was with his brother Sim when Radius arrived at their workshop. They were looking at a wheel Sim had made. No matter where you look around the circle, the spokes go across the middle and cut the circle exactly in half, Sim said. Such a lovely design, complimented Geo. When Radius heard across the middle and around the circle, he had an idea. He needed to go back and read the poem. Goodbye, he called as he rushed out. The brothers measured. As he ran through the kitchen, he saw his cousin Lady Fingers. She was baking pie. She measured strips of dough of equal length with the span of her fingers. Help me finish the last pie, please, she pleaded. Radius thought out stage sweet. He arranged the strips on the pie like the spokes. There were 3 strips left over. He draped them around the rim of the pie pan. 1, 2, 3 strips go almost all the way around the edge. Pinky, can I have a little more dough? That's Radius. Pinky was Lady Fingers handed in another strip of dough. Radius folded it in half, but half was longer than he needed. Folded it into quarters, but even a quarter of the piece was too long. He folded it in 8, and an 8 was almost right. Almost, but not exactly. Pinky, I gotta get going, said Radius. Farewell. On to something. Radius knew the magic number was more than 3, but exactly how much more did it take to make a whole circle? Back in the workshop, Radius found Geo's measuring tape, a long strip of cloth marked in inches. He measured 49 inches across the middle of the wheel and 154 inches around the edge. 154 divided by 49 is 3 1/7, he figured out. Radius measured big wheels and small wheels. Every time, the distance around was 3 1/7 times the distance across. He stuffed the measuring tape into his pocket and ran off to the doctor's room. Measure. As Radius ran around the corner, he saw his mother coming toward him. There you are, Lady Di cried. I cannot find the doctor anywhere. What are we going to do? It's all right, Mother. I know what to do. He showed her how he figured out the magic number. He measured an onion slice, a basket, a bowl, and a round cheese. Lady Di drew some diagrams to show the measurements. This makes sense, she said. Good work. I'll go and tell your father while you get the medicine. Don't forget, we have only until morning. Measured everything, every single time. The diameter was 3 1/7 times the radius. Radius went back to the doctor's workroom to get the medicine. I think I understand these directions, he said out loud. But if I measure the wrong dose, Father will remain a dragon forever. Must be sure I am right, said Radius. He sat down to reread the poem. He read, his eyelids slowly closed. Soon, like maybe some of you, he was fast asleep. When Radius awoke, the sun was rising. Oh no, I must hurry, he said. He grabbed the medicine and headed toward the woods. The smoke and the flames led right to circumference the dragon. After a long day of thinking. The sleeping dragon was lying in a circle with its tail in its mouth. Just then, it opened one eye and hissed, "Hello, son!" What's the dragon look like right now? What shape is the dragon? Circle. I think that's going to be important for the spell. Yep. Father, you're a circle too, but such a big circle. Radius looked at the dragon doubtfully. Could the distance around the dragon circle really be 3 1/7 times the distance across it? Just then, they heard the blaring of trumpets. Hurry, Radius, Lady Di called. The knights are coming. Mother, Radius said, hold this part of the tape while I measure across the middle of the dragon circle. Circumference cried out, "Why are you measuring my diameter?" He spoke, his fiery breath burned the measuring tape so that Radius could barely read the numbers. It looked like 7 feet. Well, was it? Together, Radius and Lady Di measured 22 feet around the outside of the dragon circle. Circumference whimpered, "Must you measure my circumference now?" Radius quickly divided 22 by 7. The circumference of the circle divided by the diameter was 3 1/7. Now the knights were surrounding them with swords drawn. "Radius, Lady Di, we've come to save you," they shouted. It was now or dragon forever. Radius gave the creature 3 7 spoonfuls. Kaboom! Boom! A big explosion shook the forest. When the smoke cleared, a hardy human circumference stood in their midst. Circumference leaned over and hugged his son. "Thank you, Radius. But how did you do it?" Radius explained about the eye and the measurements. Circumference and the knights listened with amazement. Cheering, they swept Radius up on their shoulders to return to the castle. "Pies! Let's eat some pies!" shouted Circumference. "Radius saved my life because of a pie." Circumference returned. At the celebration, Radius held up a pie and explained what we had discovered. I found out that the outside edge of a circle, called the circumference, is 3 1/7 times as long as the diameter, which is the measure across its middle. It's true for any circle. "I say we honor this new discovery," said Circumference. "From now on, pi with an E will be for eating. Pi without an E will be the name of this number for all things round." Geo and Sim stepped forward and gave Radius a present. "This is my drawing compass. May it lead you to other great discoveries about circles," they said. Radius had the seat of honor for the entire Pi celebration, which lasted 3 days, 3 hours, 24 minutes. So to close, pi is an interesting number. We often represent it with the 16th letter of the Greek alphabet, pi. It's usually expressed as a decimal number, 3.141159, so on. That's why we're celebrating today, because tomorrow will be Pi Day, March 14th. The part to the right of the decimal point is about a cent. There's a cat. They're all cats. The end. If it is language that makes us human, one half of language is to listen. Silence can exist without speech, but speech cannot live without silence. Listen to the speech of others. Listen even more to their silence. We now have the opportunity to share our joys and concerns with one another.
There's a joy / concern that my company is going back to work or my office on April 18th. It's like our day when we're supposed to be back working semi-normally in the office. And I'm excited for it, but also there's some conveniences about working from home that I'll miss.
Normal.
I have a joy / concern and then a concern, so two things. The first is that I'm doing a coding boot camp, and I started a couple of weeks ago, and I was trying to work a full-time job and do a full-time boot camp, and I ended up feeling it full. I was actually kicked out of it, and by whatever grades I was able to talk myself back in, and I quit my job last week. So that was scary. I kind of just worked on boot camp, and hopefully in 6 weeks I will be a software developer. But the second concern is my uncle passed away. So it was a couple of weeks ago that he but yeah, my mom's brother, it was the first of my uncles to pass away. It's just a lot.
A candle concern for one of my close friends from college. Over the pandemic, his mental health deteriorated. He developed a substance abuse problem, and the result of which is he's going to be incarcerated for up to a year, starting this weekend. I'm very, very worried about him. Light a candle for my friend Joey, who just had her intestines were torn. They're in the process, what they decided.
Candle for my brother Butch and my sister Stephanie, who both had surgery last week.
Dawn Barry had surgery on Wednesday. She's home now, recovering. But everything went well. And she feels fine as long as she doesn't stand up or walk around and move.
My daughter and me traveling, so just safe travels back.
Like one more for all the joys and concerns. more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting church and its many ministries. The gifts of the congregation we must gratefully receive. Please stand as you're willing and able for the dedication of gifts. Recite with me. Hopefully, we'll be singing again soon. Numbers are looking better. The order of service. Spirit of truth, of light, of power, we bring ourselves as gifts to thee. Oh, guide our hearts this sacred hour in faith and hope and charity. Amen. Now I'd like to welcome up to the lectern, Julie, as thoughts about Pi Day, Pi itself.
Good morning, everybody. As we learned in the story that Rick read earlier, pi is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. It is constant, meaning that no matter how big or small a circle is, this ratio is always the same. It is irrational, meaning it cannot be expressed as a common fraction. It is transcendental, meaning you can't construct a square with the same area as a circle using a compass and a straight edge. It is random, meaning its decimal expression never settles into a pattern. Its tail of decimals goes on indefinitely, but we shorten it to 3.14, which, as Rick mentioned, is why we celebrate Pi Day on March 14th, 314. Pi shows up anywhere there are circles, but it also appears in other formulas used in math and science, including trigonometry, statistics, physics, quantum mechanics, and even music. Ancient mathematicians were so fascinated by pi that they were constantly trying to find ways to express it more accurately by calculating more of its decimal points. Today, scientists try to build supercomputers powerful enough to calculate more and more decimal points. Right now, the record is 68.2 trillion, which seems like a lot, but compared to infinity, it's a drop of water in a universe full of oceans. Humans have been obsessed with calculating pi since the dawn of mathematics, which is crazy because it's infinite. Neither the most powerful machine nor the most brilliant mind could ever hope to calculate pi to its fullest extent because it goes on forever. It is impossible, so why try? Because it is a quest for truth, a search for knowledge, and perhaps a way to grow into harmony with the divine. When you try and describe pi, it sounds a lot like the divine, simple but unknowable, constant yet elusive. We can approximate it, but we can't quite pin it down. It's transcendental by more than one definition of the word. It is deeply embedded in every aspect of our lives, from the orbit of the moon around the earth and the earth around the sun, to ripples in the water after skipping a stone. Even the voice recognition software that powers Siri and Alexa uses equations that rely on pi. Pi's existence makes our universe work. It helps us learn more about our world, and it helps us discover and create. And though we know how to calculate it, we can't calculate it fully. And even though we know how to use it to learn and build, we can never truly understand it. It is mysterious. The more we examine pi, the more of it we try to know, the more we discover about the world we live in. Kind of like how we can't truly understand the divine, but on our journey there, we learn more about ourselves. Thank you.
be carried.
Until we are together. Please feel free to be seated.